Hello, Michelle Visage.
My darling.
Now we're recording in a new location,
Yes.
our podcast that is across the street from my dermatologist.
Yes, your dermatologist.
That's what we call him.
Yes, your dentist.
Is he not? He's not my dentist.
No, but dentists.
It's euphemism for
Yes.
all the things that have to do with the face.
Tweaking.
Yes. But it's a great little location. I love it.
It is a great little room, great little location. Glad we're here.
We've got lots to talk about. You know, Candis Cayne is coming up as our special
Can't
guest
wait.
a little bit
Love
later.
her.
Longtime friend.
Yes.
And but you just got back from New York.
Before we talk about the New York trip,
Yeah.
congratulations on your first and long overdue Emmy nomination.
Thank you, Michelle, but don't you mean congratulations?
I can fuck you like every elations there is. Elations, undulations, congratulations, congratulations. I am so, of course, happy and elated and beyond, but it's like I've been waiting for this for how many years? Like, what?
A long time.
Banging our head against the wall going, why is this not happening? I'd say it to my husband, and here you are. And it happened at the right time that it was meant to happen.
Well, thank you very much.
How exciting. And Zaldi, too.
Zaldi is, last year, Matthew, who does my hair and makeup, got a nomination. Of course, it was in the special effects category. But thank you for the people in the back row for that joke. Yeah.
But special effects category is kind of what we do.
It's
makeup, It
is.
But it's a really big deal, and I'm getting my gown ready to be your date. So
Good.
it's perfect.
Good.
I'll have the perfect gown by Zaldi.
You know, it's funny, the whole thing. I've said this before. I've lived my whole life in show business and just in life in general, doing my own thing, dancing to the beat of my own drummer. So really what the status quo or what they think of me has never been a factor. I've never made it a factor in my ascension in this business because I've had to cut my own swath, so to speak. So when I first heard about the nomination, I got a call from my agents. They were on a call together and they called me up, and I knew the
nominations
were coming up,
yeah.
but I didn't think, it's been so many years, I didn't think they would even, whatever.
Right.
So I wasn't even expecting anything. But they called me. They were very happy. So my first thought after they told me was logo. I thought, wow, that's great for them. Because this is a network that has been around for a long time, but still doesn't get the kind of recognition that it deserves, and it's done so much great work. And I thought of them. Then I thought of World of Wonder, our friends at World of Wonder.
Of
We've
course.
worked with you and I for over 20 years. I've worked with them for over 30, So I thought of that. But I thought of all the people who put the work into the show. But I didn't think of myself because I've told the story too before. I won Best Afro and Best Dancer in the 9th grade at Gompers Junior High School in San Diego. And I was the best dancer, and I did have the best Afro. But what got me the award back then was all the people I was hanging out with. I was with the right crowd. And in this town, in Hollywood, a lot of people vote for their friends.
It's a machine.
It's a machine.
For sure.
And if I were voting, if you were voting, you vote for the people you know.
Of course.
So, so I think of it that way. I think of it as it's great for business. It's great for the network and the production company.
And it validates not only you, but it validates this incredible show that I'm honored to be a part of, that we get to work on, that is speaking volumes to all these kids. I'm out there doing this tour, and the main reason I do it is that to see the change of the tides and who loves our show and who the fans are. And there's been an influx, and I do a little speech, and there's been an influx of young people, young girls specifically, cisgender girls. And, some people complain about that and talk about mainstreaming and how it's not a good thing. And I stand up there, and when I do my speech, I talk about why it is a good thing. Not for people to know, just not for people to know about the art of drag, because that's going to get out there anyway, and they can't. But why it's so important is because of this young group of people, and not just the girls, just young people in general, who, me being a kid who was bullied in elementary school and didn't have anybody to get my back, it's the first time that these kids feel like the those bully or weird kids that don't fit in,
Right.
that they have a place where they belong now. And it's RuPaul's Drag Race. That's why I don't think that people should shun the mainstream or the fact that these 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old girls maybe aren't who you expect to watch or see the show,
Right.
but they are such a huge part of this community now that watch RuPaul's Drag Race because they have a place to go where they fit. They feel that they belong.
Yeah, no, and that's very important.
It's so important.
It is important. It's for
beautiful.
everyone. It's absolutely
Yeah.
for everyone.
And then what you tweeted was gorgeous.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was this whole process of getting nominated. I dedicated to the outsiders of the world.
Yeah. And those are the people that come see the show and love the show. Yes, there's a lot more heteronormative, and people that live inside the color line
Sure.
that do love our show, and we love them as well. But seeing the outliers and the ones that love it for what we are and what the show represents, it's a beautiful kind of amalgamation of everybody coming together. And it's just the timing is beautiful, and I'm so honored to be a part of it. I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
What a beautiful moment.
It's great. It's absolutely great. It's absolutely great. Now, I want to talk about another beautiful moment.
Okay. Now I can move on to New York.
You
but
finally got to see Hammy.
I can sit here and cry.
And I saw the picture of you with Lin. Wait a minute. Okay, because didn't he leave a few days before that?
This is what happened.
Okay.
What happened was he left the 9th. And no matter what, I was on tour. I could not get there.
Yeah.
So no matter what I tried to do, I couldn't get there. And this whole trip was contingent upon the fact I wasn't sure if we were going to be able to get Hamilton tickets.
Mm-hmm.
So it was down to the 11th hour. And I am so blessed because somebody I know is in it, and he was able to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, come early so I can get you guys situated. So I used my mileage to get the airplane tickets. Like, we made it happen. We stayed in Times Square, which is a place you could not pay me to stay,
Right.
being a New Yorker. But we wanted to be in the heart of
Yeah.
everything. And it was the best. It was the first vacation I've taken in a long time where I wasn't working at all. And I was in my home city and just seeing Broadway shows every day.
Yeah.
And my husband and my youngest daughter, Lola, they checked out. They were like, 2 shows and we're done. So we did Book of Mormon and we did Hamilton. And it was Lola's first experience with Hamilton and my husband's first experience with Hamilton. He just knew what Lily and I had been singing.
They because they hadn't heard it in the they hadn't
Just
heard it in the
passing.
house.
Yeah, in the house. And he knew a little bit. And Lily and I would always sing back and forth. And he didn't know the story. He knew nothing. So my friend who is playing Aaron Burr at the moment, he was the interim Aaron Burr. He was fantastic. His name is Sidney Harcourt. He's amazing. He said, come early. I'll get you situated. Get your merch, because we were going to buy all the merch that they had to offer. And we did.
Yeah.
And he said, hurry up. So I said, give me 15 minutes. I have to slap extra makeup on. So I did. I got all dolled up. And he said, hurry up. I said, why? He said, I have a surprise. Come. And I said, come get me. He grabs me outside. And Lin is standing there. He was on his way to go see Shuffle Along.
Yeah.
Which is closing. Or
It's the 24th, yeah.
Correct. And Sydney had told him that I was coming and wanted to meet my
You're
daughter.
kidding. He
No.
came down specially to meet you.
He came down, I'm sure, to check in on the show, but he came down
No,
to
he
meet
didn't
me.
need to check on the show.
Oh, come on.
He just left the show.
He came down to say hi, and Lily got a chance to take a picture with him. And I don't know if he heard everything I threw at him about how important it is. I said, I just want you to live in this moment, to know that the art that you created, it's great, and you're a millionaire, and that's wonderful. But you're changing lives, whether you know it or not, because I discussed the story of my daughter's depression and how Hamilton got her through. But, and I'm going to probably tear up talking about it, when there's no overture in Hamilton, we had incredible seats, front row mezzanine, so we were up.
Wow.
And the minute, dun, she starts sobbing in my arms.
God.
Sobbing in my arms, like head down, sobbing in my arms. Because
Wow.
I get so emotional, but because this show was so important to her getting through this depression.
Yeah.
And it's coming to a reality. And she's seeing it.
Yeah.
She's just sobbing. It's a complete breakdown.
My God.
She picks herself up and she just starts watching it, and just it was everything she could have ever wanted it to be.
Wow.
Even without Lin, Javier was fabulous.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then I looked down the line, and as the show goes on, I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it or haven't read it or heard it, and Lola's crying, and David's crying, and the production was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
So whether I manifested it or not, because I told you I would have blown anybody I had to get this girl tickets,
Yeah.
because that's what held her on, amongst other things.
Yeah.
There's meds now, and there's
Sure.
great therapists, and me, whatever.
Yeah.
it was this connection that she had, and it was amazing.
What happened when it was time for intermission? Did you guys just all look at each other and go, what the F?
I looked at Lola and I said, well, and she's like, and David's like, oh, like nobody could put into words. And Lily's like, I still can't believe I'm here. And then we went backstage and she got to meet all these people. She didn't even know what to say. Like, then they brought out a signed by the original cast vinyl collection for Lily.
Oh, boy.
Because Lily listens to vinyl.
Yeah.
All her records from the 30s and the 40s.
Right.
And it was signed by the whole cast, and they gave her a poster signed by the whole cast. It was so overwhelming. Like, she was just starstruck. So I took a picture with some of the people on the stage. You know, it was such a I'm so honored to have been able to do this for my child. Thank you to Sydney. Thank you to Lynn for us to be a part of it, because we're not J-Lo and we're not you.
Well,
we're just,
you know, you look gorgeous in that picture with Lynn. That was gorgeous.
You.
And you did your own makeup for that?
Of course, you know I could beat my own face.
Oh, my God. You look gorgeous. And that little black top off the shoulder.
A little Zara number.
Yeah, Riz is peachy. Pass it on.
Yeah, exactly. I gave a little Pink Ladies moment.
And you guys look so gorgeous together. So what famous people were in the audience?
I don't even know, because
you didn't look.
I didn't look, and it was all about Lily that night. Honestly, I was living for that moment for her. Yeah. I don't know. I know the next night, Kelly Clarkson was there, and the night before was the Hillary Clinton command performance.
Oh.
Right? So I don't know who was there. I just know that in that moment, it was for
Sarah
my daughter.
Jessica Parker was there when I...
Was she when you were there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't know, and Elvis could have been there, and it wouldn't have mattered. Look, Madonna could have been there. I would say it might not have mattered, but it probably would have. But it was
Did you hear that she was texting during the show when she saw it? Did you hear
Madonna?
that? Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No, she was texting during the show.
That's disgusting.
Actually, and I can never say his name.
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Manuel
Miranda.
Apparently, I read that he said that in an article that he said that she was.
Disgusting.
They could see him.
I'm sorry that happened, because it was everything that it was meant to be. And I was talking to Todrick about it afterwards, because I know there's this whole kind of thought of white privilege with it, and being able to say, but I'm telling you, I don't look at it that way. I never looked at it that way. When I first heard it, and we discussed this many times, it's two of my favorite genres. And the first time I heard it on SoundCloud, it didn't work for me. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want my hip hop to be merged with this, even though in the Heights he had done that earlier.
You didn't want peanut butter in your chocolate?
I didn't want them. And then when Lily made me listen to it, and then when I heard it from top to bottom, you can't listen to it on shuffle. It has to be top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
It has to be to make sense.
Yeah.
Then I got it, and I was so overwhelmed with how much I loved it that it became an obsession.
PJ just told me this morning that he's that they listen to it on
nonstop.
Yeah, nonstop.
And I just quoted it.
Yeah.
We're going nonstop. Okay, so I love it, and I'll never stop loving it. I've got all.
All right, so let's
move on.
Let's talk about something rotten.
Yes. Okay.
Welcome to the Renaissance.
Okay. So then I went on TodayTix, which is the app that I used to buy.
Oh, is that what you do?
Oh, it's amazing.
TodayTix.com.
TIX. No, it's an app.
Okay.
TodayTix. You can even buy shows in LA, different
You're
cities.
kidding me.
All over.
Oh, I'm going to get it right now.
It's amazing. So I bought 2 orchestra seats. They were $109.
Because I tried last night to go see Cabaret, and it looked too confusing on the thing. I couldn't figure out how to get the tickets.
I'll show you.
I did the same thing with Funhouse in New York a few weeks ago. Fun Home. It was too confusing on the website.
No, I'll show you. It's Fun Home. You click the button. It's amazing. I do everything.
And it gives you the best tickets available.
Yes. So this is what happens. You wait outside half an hour before the show.
Mm-hmm.
There's a person in a red shirt that says TodayTix. You go up. What's your name? My name's Michelle. Here's your tickets. You go. And you don't know what they are until you get in. But it said orchestra.
You don't know what the show is?
No, you don't know what the tickets are.
Oh,
so
I
it'll
see.
say, I bought orchestra, rows A through K. So it could be anywhere from A to K.
But the seats are not together.
Seats are together.
Oh.
We got two tickets, third row center orchestra. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. No, it's a crapshoot. Sometimes there's side orchestra. Who cares?
Yeah.
You could buy mezzanine. You could buy balcony. So the prices vary. I saved $50 a ticket going through TodayTix. So Lily and I went to
Something Rotten.
Yeah, I was trying to think if we went to the matinee. We did. We went to the matinee. No, that was Book of Mormon. I'm confusing everything. Anyway, we went to Something Rotten. I know the soundtrack. I own the soundtrack. I've listened to the soundtrack for months. Seeing it is I cannot.
I know.
I'm going to put it on the same level as Hamilton.
Yeah.
It is not nowhere near
it's
lower.
It's the different thing. Yeah.
But is it equally? It is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Anybody who has ever had the opportunity to go see a Broadway show because you can't get tickets to Hamilton,
Yeah.
and you lost every lottery for Hamilton, go see Something Rotten. And I got to see Christian Borle before he left.
Yes.
And I didn't even know he was leaving.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize he was still in it.
Yes.
He is so good.
He is. He plays Shakespeare, and he's brilliant. This is a fantastic show. And listen, I think people know I'm not a Broadway queen.
No.
I'm not a show. I mean, I see them and I enjoy them, but
you don't obsess like that.
I'm not obsessed like that. This show is fantastic.
I am telling you.
And I got to tell you, Book of Mormon is right there with it.
100%. So then we went to see that.
Brilliant.
So, by the way, I want to play the wife in Something Rotten. I want to play her.
Oh, yeah, she's good.
Amazing.
She's good. I wonder if it's the same girl I saw.
Heidi Blickenstaff. She's been in it forever. She's
Yeah,
amazing.
Girl,
so good.
Yeah, really good.
Then we moved on to Book of Mormon. That we saw in the matinee. And I just bought tickets on my own, and my husband and my daughter.
Ticket Talks?
TodayTix, no, because Book of Mormon is still sold out.
Of course.
So I had to go through connections to get them. But I paid.
Yeah.
I paid for all. And then I went in, and because I don't want people to think you're a celebrity, you get to go and it's free. No, we're paying for these tickets and they're not cheap.
Yeah.
So go in. And I get a letter halftime. Somebody sends the house manager comes in. He goes, Michelle, I have a note from Elder Price, the guy Nick who plays Elder Price. And they saw I posted it that I was there. So they were like, please come back. So the girls got to go back and meet everybody and go on the set of that too. And the guy who played Elder McKinley, his name is Gray. I am so in love with him. He is they were all so talented.
What a great Broadway trip.
Oh my God. And I tried so hard to get into Shuffle Along, but we were seeing my best friend from high school. Lily was literally like, can you just make this dinner go faster? We were trying to get in to see Billy Porter and Audra McDonald. Are you kidding me?
Right, yeah.
And
Brian Stokes Mitchell. Who,
yes.
by the way, we grew up a few blocks from each other.
Who, you and Brian?
Yeah. I knew of him because he was a big star in San Diego, sort of children's theater storyline. And then, of course, years later, he became a big star on Trapper John and all that stuff, and, of course, on Broadway.
That's a stellar cast. I don't know why it's closing. I don't know if people
Well, it's closing because Audra McDonald
is
pregnant. She's pregnant. And she can't do the show after the 24th.
And nobody else could.
Well, they tried to. They were going to get the understudy to do it, but the ticket sales dropped so
much because of her. She's a fucking star.
She is the legend of Broadway.
Yeah.
She's won 6 Tonys in acting category, which no one has ever done before.
Yeah.
But it just says something about the star power of Broadway and that people are not willing to see someone who they don't know.
Which is. I understand, which I'm sure ticket sales in Hamilton really went, even though Javier is because he replaced him as Usnavi in The Heights too when he left. That's his right-hand man. I'm quoting Hamilton again. So people were really excited about Javier. But the girl that we saw play Eliza that night is not the new Eliza. It's the understudy, and she was not good. She was average.
Yeah.
The chemistry wasn't there. Her voice was okay. And I'm not trying to be shady. I'm just being honest. Because Philippa left. I also did get to see David Diggs, the Lafayette, before he left.
Yeah,
you got to see all the original.
Yeah, I got to see all the original.
He is so good.
Yeah.
And Washington wasn't there, though. The guy who did fill in for Chris Jackson was very good.
Wow.
Lily was kind of upset that Chris Jackson wasn't there, but Oak was there and David Diggs was there and Javier was there. But you're right. There is something, and these people were not celebrities before.
Right.
They just originated the role. So when you originate the roles, people get really caught up in wanting to see.
Sure.
And I'm one of them because I know what I hear. I always buy original Broadway casts when I buy albums. So for me, as a purist, I understand them not wanting to see it without Audra. I get it. Yeah. And she is a legend.
She is a legend. But the show, in all of these shows, they stand on their own.
Did you get to see Shuffle or no?
I did. I saw it with her and all of them.
How was it?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I had a smile on my face the whole time. I loved it. I'm not a Broadway queen.
No, but that's also jazz.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
A great story, beautifully acted, great songs.
There just wasn't enough time, baby. There wasn't, next time, Lily and I have to go alone and just do shows because I really wanted to get to see Cynthia Erivo in Color Purple. But I know that'll be there. So it was more like I had to get in to see Shuffle Along, and I couldn't.
I keep saying I'm not a Broadway queen, but I do see a
see
lot of shows all the time.
You don't sit there and listen to soundtracks.
I don't listen to soundtracks,
like
but that doesn't. I'm not being a snob or anything. It's just there is a certain kind of Broadway person, and we all know them. And I'm just not one of those people. But I see shows. I tried to go down to Todrick's show in Anaheim.
That's funny. You went to see TodayTix, but not mine.
No, that's not true. I said, I'm not going to sit in traffic, so I'll try to catch an Amtrak train down there.
Yeah.
So I drove the car downtown L.A. to go to Union Station to catch my train.
And not enough is a bitch.
That's a bitch in itself. Couldn't find parking in the lot.
In a lot.
In the lot.
Because everybody takes the train.
Everybody takes the train. I missed my train. So I'm downtown. I said, screw it. Because I'm not going to drive down there because it's 5 o'clock in traffic in Anaheim.
I did it yesterday.
Oh, you did it yesterday?
I left Disney at 4:50.
Oh, you're insane.
Insane.
That's crazy
and
talk.
Sidebar, continue that story, but sidebar, my GPS in my new GPS system wanted to take me on the 91 and I ignored it because I didn't know that way. Should I have gone on that?
No. Don't go to 91.
All right. Good.
Well, the 91 will take you to the 405.
Oh, and I don't want to be anywhere near the 405.
Yeah.
But the 5 was no better. Okay, carry on. Your TodayTix.
Well, so I didn't go to TodayTix show because I missed my train, and
what did you do downtown?
I stayed downtown, and I went to this jazz club called Perch, right at Pershing Square, downtown L.A. It's on the roof of this big building, and it was way too many people. This is my first time going. I've always wanted to go. It's a great setup, but it was way too many people up there. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go. First, I'm going to go get that stubborn brown pencil from the Mac store.
Yes. Did you get them?
I did.
Good.
And then I said, I know Grey Gardens is playing at the Mark Taper Theater at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion downtown. So I bought a ticket. Well, I was by myself. I bought a ticket to go see Grey Gardens with
who's in it?
It's the mother from Eight Is Enough and the Broadway star Betty Buckley.
Yes, Betty Buckley.
Betty Buckley's in it. And
by the way, I love Betty Buckley.
I know you do.
Yeah.
That's why this is what the purpose of this story. And the show it's okay. I'm a big fan of the movie and of the documentary.
Have you ever seen the show?
I've never seen Grey Gardens
until just now.
Just now.
I like it.
I'm
not
that
Jinx
crazy
do it
about
when
it.
She does it. Jinxie does it really
Of
well.
course, Jinxie does it.
Yeah.
It's that first act.
Yeah.
That first act is not good.
It's not the best.
Yeah.
Second
act is great.
Yeah. I'd much rather watch the movie.
But again, it's the kind of songs, unlike Book of Mormon, Something Rotten, and Hamilton. You can't sing those songs. They're like songs like this, where you're sitting across from me.
You mean in Grey Gardens?
In Grey Gardens.
It's all that.
It's all of that, which is my least favorite type of Broadway show.
And I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and agree with you.
Yeah.
Because in Something Rotten, when they make fun of it, people are just talking and they're singing instead of talking and people are doing
Yes.
And it's that moment of there are musicals that do that really shouldn't be doing that.
No, I give me a melody.
Yes.
Give me a song.
Yes.
There's one song in it that Betty Buckley sings, which is about corn. He likes my corn, which is hilarious.
We're all familiar with that.
We're all familiar with that. But it still doesn't have a melody that you could walk out of the theater singing.
Well, that's why it never really was a big hit. It's a cult thing. Like there's a really great musical that is another cult hit, but it's called Ruthless. And it's
I've heard of it. It's
a
about a little
queen.
girl.
Yes, and the mother becomes this and it's same kind of thing. It's never been a huge hit, but it's brilliant.
Give me songs. I want songs. That's why, I tried to go see Cabaret last night here at the Pantages Theater here in Los Angeles. Again, going on the website, it was too confusing with the tickets. It was crazy. I'm going to do the TikTok. TodayTix.
And I'm going to see what we can find in LA as we talk here.
All right. Try to get me tickets to Cabaret.
Okay. That's how easy it is.
Yeah. This is the thing. I wish they were a sponsor because we're doing a great commercial for them right now.
Look, what's the first one?
Cabaret.
Then you click on it.
Yeah.
And then you go down here, you pick your night.
Yeah. How about tonight?
What's today?
What am I doing? Oh, I'm live tweeting for today's the 20th of July. We probably shouldn't be saying this.
Right.
Because people are listening to this another time. But tonight I'm live tweeting for my Skin Wars Fresh Paint.
Okay.
Which I should be talking about. People out there, you should be watching this show.
Well, if they aren't, why the fuck are they listening?
Exactly.
Go away.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. Fresh Paint. Well, let's just say Thursday. Random night. Okay.
Yeah, Thursday.
You rear side orchestra.
I want the best ticket.
Side rear orchestra is going to be your best ticket. Okay.
Side rear orchestra. I like the rear.
Well, we all do. Side rear orchestra, which would probably be like around here somewhere.
Really? There's nothing in the middle?
Not right now, but still, it's $45 a ticket. You click it, check out, done.
Done.
And you go pick them up.
I'm gonna put it on my phone.
I'm telling you, it's the best thing ever.
No.
But then
because I'm a Broadway queen. I've said it. There, it's done.
And you need to own it. Listen, there are different types of Broadway queens.
Do I have a stigma attached to
you
being
do.
I guess so.
Because there's nothing wrong with loving Broadway. It's all I listen to. It's not all you listen to.
Right.
And I'm not even nowhere near, let's say, a Bruce Vilanch or Seth Rudetsky or somebody that knows everybody playing every
no
role.
one's near Seth Rudetsky.
True. But I love that about him, and I can learn so much from people like that. I forget things all the time.
Yeah.
Who won what, Tony? When for where? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love the environment. I love what it is. I love being able to sing them all day and listen to it, and I never get upset.
Well, there's a certain exclusivity to the Broadway community that has always put me off. There's a certain...
And it shouldn't. They're so all-inclusive. I don't know why you would think that.
No, that's
Maybe
true. No, I don't
goer,
think it. I don't think that. That's what it is. They're very exclusive, you know.
The goer. Not the people in the community. The Broadway community is
I
inclusive.
beg to differ.
Oh, come on.
Yeah. I think they're very, their own crowd,
I think people see them that way because they feel like that they're not in. But I don't think that they are that way because they're us. They're the weirdos and the outsiders and the misfits.
I get that. Well, listen, we've got to go to a break now. But when we come back, we're going to talk to Candis Cayne. Talk about a showgirl.
Love that bitch.
All right, we'll be right back. So, Michelle, how'd you sleep last night?
Well, you know how I slept.
think I know how you slept.
Because let me tell you something. On this tour, it killed me. And all I was thinking about, my husband would send me pictures of my Casper mattress.
Oh.
All I was thinking about was being on home. So I have my Casper mattress, and then I have an electric blanket on top. So when he turns the air conditioning, they like it cold. I don't. Yeah. So I put the heat on my side of the blanket, and on my mattress, it's heavenly.
Oh, I bet you feel so happy to be home sleeping on your Casper mattress.
I love my Casper mattress.
It's a great product, people. It is a fantastic. Casper is an online retailer of premium mattresses for a fraction of the price. You can get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/RU and using the offer code RU. You get to save some money, honey.
Yeah, love it. So what are you waiting for, you guys? Do like I did. Go to casper.com/RU and get started today.
Child, we have Miss Candis Cayne up in here. We were just talking before.
Hi.
We're talking about the allergy storyline because I had stopped taking the I only do the Claritin. I was doing the Safeway brand, the knockoff
you
brand.
You really are Jewish.
It's
just in your blood.
I was at Safeway. It's the same thing. I'm sure the same company makes it.
Yeah.
But I had stopped taking it. I started taking the Claritin stuff in Claritin adjacent. In the spring, and then now it's the middle of summer. I thought, I'll just wean myself off.
So you've been taking it every day,
because if
like birth control.
You don't have allergies, Michelle.
No,
you don't.
I never
have allergies.
did.
Yeah, it only started on me about 10 years ago.
Yeah,
I didn't have it. Now
it started with me when I moved to Los Angeles.
When you moved to Los Angeles,
I never had it growing up in Hawaii. You'd think with all the flora and fauna.
Yes.
And in New York, with
the
all
dust
the
and
the dirt,
everything.
all kinds of dirt.
And I would think with the humidity over there, where we grew up,
I think that actually helps the humidity.
Right.
I don't know. I could be wrong, but I moved here and it was dry and dusty and polleny.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. What brand of antihistamine do you use?
This is girls of a certain age.
I know.
I do. I want to know.
What do you use, Candis?
I use Claritin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I get the knockoff brand at Safeway, and they have a knockoff brand at Rite Aid.
And Target and everywhere.
I'm sure it's the exact same
I'm sure
lab that cooks it up as the Claritin people.
It's just called
I
Claritin.
I think I just have fierce sinus infections.
You get them too.
I get them, and I get not so much like mucusy, but my everything swells
Everything
and headachy.
That's right.
And as soon as I start on a regimented, regular dosage of the goods, it goes away.
Yeah. Is there an anal option?
I'd like to try.
I'm not opposed to it.
No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's awful that you guys have to be. I'm going to have to start a group.
Well, what you mean an
attic group, a CA, Claritin Anonymous.
No, a Clarence Thomas Anonymous.
CTA. I'm going to go to that Clarence Thomas Anonymous meeting today. Claritin baked into cookies.
You got the goods? The brownies.
Oh my God! Now, have you ever done the nose sprays?
I do that too.
Can you just do the saline ones?
No, this is the Flonase.
Oh my God.
When I'm
Flonase.
having a really hard day,
double dip.
I double dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that sounds awful.
That is all because I remember you had several nose jobs.
Yes, and I was going to say that might have something to do with my sinus
I'm sure it has
infections
something,
and stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't know about infections, but it changes your breathing passages.
Totally.
Yeah.
How many have you had?
I've had 4.
4, because it's
Yeah.
gorgeous now. It is
Oh,
Are
well.
you happy with it now?
No.
See, I knew it.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever happy.
Well, no, just because I had one kind of botched, and then it took 3 to try to.
So your first one was botched?
Yes. And then it took the other ones to try to repair it. And the last one, he took cartilage out of my ear.
Shut
Right.
up.
This was 10 years ago, though. So I think I have it's just stupid shit. I mean, I'm not going to do it again just
Right.
because I'm scared as
Yeah,
hell.
yeah.
But I,
Just want to
shadow
your
on the
face.
side
It's
just because I could, just.
This looks gorgeous on you.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
gorgeous nose.
fine.
What? No, if someone's going in to have their nose done,
Yeah.
what would you tell them? What do you do first?
Well,
I mean,
the days now, when I got my first nose job, if you were trans, you wanted that look. You know what I mean? That pinched.
I love it.
What you mean, like the sissy
turns,
the sissy space
The
act?
sissy Spacek, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think, and I was always I'm Italian. I had a Whopper
It was a
before.
gorgeous nose job.
I love your original nose.
I mean, you understand.
But-
it was a gorgeous nose.
Yes.
Yes, for a boy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so but now I'm I wish I had just straightened it, the curve, and left it alone. I think that
Hindsight's
now
such a bitch.
hindsight is a fucking bitch,
I'm telling
especially when you are talking surgeries.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I want
You know
these
what I
giant
mean?
whoppers
But
out of my body.
do you?
Oh, they're way too big.
Oh my gosh.
Way too big.
And
But
they're under the muscle, right?
over. No, always over.
But over, Michelle, that creates the sagging skin.
I like that.
You like
Yeah,
that.
you want
I like
you want
hangy
some
boobies. I don't want round Pamela
round,
Anderson
hard.
Baywatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you watch Botched? The TV
Yeah,
show
of course, of
Botched?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm obsessed, of course, with
Yeah.
it. But there was a girl on there last night. She had it over the muscle and all of the skin in between.
Depends how heavy you go and how
She was
how
very
tiny you
heavy.
are,
Your body
But you're
type.
heavy. You're heavy. You've got heavy. How many cc's you have in there?
550. But when I said to him, I went in with my boss at the time, and she went under the muscle, and I was defiant. I really wanted to go.
But this was your third.
This third over the muscle,
And they were always over the muscle.
always. And he said to my friend who was, she's like, well, why? What's the difference? And I said, I want to be hustler, not playboy. And he
Okay.
said, he said over the muscles just more. He called it glamorous, but really, I like the hangy,
Teardrop.
sexy.
Right.
Yeah.
Where
yeah,
under the
yeah.
muscle is very round and firm and beautiful.
Yeah.
But I wanted it sluttier, to use
Yeah.
a lack of a better term.
Yeah, because you're a mom.
Of course, and all moms want to look like slutty
Yeah.
hustler
Yeah.
centerfolds.
Well, for me, because doing drag is just you have to adapt in so many looks, and I didn't want too big of these big things that I could only do one look with. You
Yeah.
know,
What size? How many implant? What cc's?
these
did
are
you?
4. I went from a
Perfect.
5 to a 4.
Wait a minute, 400 cc's?
Yeah.
You downsized.
Oh, you went from 5 to 4?
Yeah.
How many?
Well, I didn't mean to, but I woke up with a size smaller cup.
What do you mean you didn't?
How did that happen? Somebody slipped something in your drink?
Claritin. Claritin
The
cocktail.
doctor was like, I didn't know you were trans.
But why is that relevant?
Well, apparently there's more breast tissue on cis females.
Oh, okay.
Which still is no excuse.
Right.
He fucked up. You know what I mean?
Well,
but
what did
then
you
I
go
was
in there
like,
for?
to get them redone.
Redone. Okay,
I
you
had
didn't
to
know
get
what
them
size.
redone.
Okay,
yeah.
I see.
And I told him I want the same size.
And so this is you've only had them done twice?
4 times.
Your breasts 4 times?
Girl, I'm at 3, so I'm right behind you.
No, but not because I wanted to go bigger, because they encapsulated. And so it
Which
was
means
like
they got hard.
They got hard.
Right.
And so the first 3 pair were from 20 to 15 years ago.
Right.
In a matter of 3 years, 4
Yes.
years.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I had my last pair for 15 years.
Right.
and then one encapsulated. And so I was like,
I've had these for 13 already.
yeah.
Yeah, but aren't you supposed to switch those out after
No,
10?
you're not supposed to. They're only guaranteed by the manufacturer for 10 years. You can have them for 50 years if you have no problem.
Right, exactly. And I wasn't going to touch them because they were, spectacular.
Right,
and
right.
soft, and I was very happy with them.
Yeah. Now, did you have friends from the old neighborhood who could guide you through the nose job, the tits, everything? Is there anybody
Not really, because if you
wise
look
old
back,
owl?
well, there was a couple of girls. Paris who used to do the door at all the clubs
Yeah.
downtown. I first started my transition with her, like kind of guiding me, but she was in her own world and doing her own thing. But there wasn't, when I first started in the early 90s, there was no, big movement. No,
Right.
I
people
agree.
did not care.
In New York City.
And even in New York City, there was no medical. We all got it. We all got our surgeries. A lot of the girls got all their silicone from, up in Harlem.
Sure, yeah.
I won't name names.
No, but we know who we're talking about.
and so, it wasn't until really kind of, during the time of Dirty Sexy Money that all these organizations,
Sure.
Which was a
10 years
TV show
ago,
that
started-
Candis did. What year was Dirty Sexy Money?
07. I mean, I'm sure there was before that, but it was like slow. It was,
Sure.
it was.
Now, is there a network or a website or something where new girls can come and go, oh, this is how you do it? Where it's sort of like some guidance.
Well, I mean, now there's a lot of, with the World Wide Web, there's a lot of, a lot of girls that have podcasts or, websites that girls that are just figuring out what to do go to them, I
Right.
guess. But, a lot of it is like YouTube. A lot of girls post YouTube videos about their
helpful,
transition.
so
It's helpful.
It is so helpful. What would you do differently? Like you started with your nose. Your nose was the first thing you did.
Right.
Right. So what
Did
would
your nose before your boobs?
What would you do differently if you were starting this now? What would you do differently?
I probably wouldn't have gone to Mexico for a bunch of
Yeah.
things, but those were the only doctors that would work on trans
Yes.
women.
Right.
And so, I mean, there's a lot that you could do differently, but I wear my being trans like it's like a battle scar, and I wear it up front and out there, and I'm always talking about it because I'm not afraid of my past. I'm not I never was somebody that hid in,
Sure.
in the back area and
Yeah.
didn't talk about my transition. I mean, I did it on stage in Chelsea. That's,
Yeah.
what
No,
I did.
you held. There was it wasn't before there was GoFundMe.
Right.
You had. you sort of originated GoFundMe.
Shut up!
You did.
Damn it!
Because for your first nose surgery, you had
party,
it was
right?
a big party.
It was a big party fundraiser. Mark
Yes.
Berkeley, who was an
I
old,
remember.
he's since passed, R.I.P. He, knew I wanted to do surgery, and so he's like, "Let's have a huge fundraiser, and we'll ask the queens to come." And he hired like a dunking booth, and I had Sherry Vine getting dunked in the booth for
We
money
all love
for
to
my.
see Sherry Vine get dunked.
I know.
I love it.
And did that party actually raise all the funds for your?
It raised half the funds
Uh-huh.
for my surgery.
So now we're probably going to have to take a break real quick, but I want to know. So tell me about the going to Mexico storyline, because you're right. For years, everyone knew that girls had to go to Mexico to get the procedures they wanted done. Or was it Trinidad, Colorado? For years, that was that place in was it called Trinidad, Trenton or Trident, Colorado? Okay, there was some town in Colorado where that doctor, the trans doctor, works. I can't remember her name, but
Michelle Visage.
Yeah, Michelle Visage. Where for years, that's where all of the girls in America got their surgery.
Colorado.
Right.
In Colorado, I think it's called.
Well, there was a
Trident.
couple of people
Who
in
knew?
New York City that you could go to, but I
Like
went
on the down low.
Well, no, they were open to working
They were,
with trans
okay. Right.
women, but I went to my first nose consultation with him before I, went somewhere else.
Yeah.
And he was an older doctor, and he was like looking at my profile, and he was marking out the shape of my new nose and what it was going to be, and he started to fall asleep. And my nose had a big he'd be like,
Oh my
God! I was like, I am not hearing to this doctor.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
oh my goodness!
That was my first consultation.
Well, that's a perfect point because, with all the surgeries, and you hear this on the TV show Botch all the time, is that people get little bitty clues along the way that they ignore. Most people ignore the clues, and that is the biggest thing. You have to be present because everybody has their eye on
life, isn't it?
It is life, but everybody has their eye on the goal of what they want, and they ignore a lot of the little words.
So and the warning, the red flags.
So people, if the doctor is falling asleep during your consultation, run away.
If anything, a queen knows a red flag.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brick to the back of the head.
Yes, unfortunately.
You know every angle, what's going on with you, especially in New York City.
Yes.
You know what's going around you.
Yes.
That's for anybody, women too.
Yes.
It's
absolutely.
Like,
yeah. So when you decided, okay, yes, Mexico. Yes,
Tijuana?
Mexico.
No, Guadalajara.
Oh, sorry. Make a left at TJ.
Yeah.
Go to Guadalajara.
So
Guadalajara is actually a really great city that has a lot of resources. It's big. It's big like Mexico.
Yeah, but you
City.
Yeah.
don't go there for your surgeries.
I
though.
might.
Yeah. No.
I might
know.
go to
I mean,
Tijuana, to be
and
honest.
a lot of the girls that were in the that were trying to get surgeries were either showgirls or working girls.
And was it not only that they would work on trans people there, but it was affordable?
And it was affordable.
Correct.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Right.
And so you would go there and you could get the work that you needed done, and you wouldn't have to pay $20,000, which was an unheard of amount of money to a showgirl, or not
To
for all
human,
working girls,
honey.
but you know what I mean.
Even to regular,
but to
non-working
regular
girls.
anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother was telling me that like if most of America can't pull together $4,000 if they needed to.
Right.
Scary,
right.
isn't
Which
it?
is fucking scary.
It is.
Sorry, are
It
we allowed
is.
to swear?
No, you can do whatever you want. So when you decided, yes, Mexico, was there someone who said, listen, there's a doctor that I went to, and I highly recommend this doctor?
Yes.
And it was someone that you trusted because they had the same work done there.
Yeah, and I'd known like a girlfriend, Dina, was
Dina, delicious.
delicious.
I love that baby.
She brought me there the first time.
I love that bitch.
She was a kook.
And
She still is.
She still is. I mean, the stories I can't get.
Oh, honey.
I'm gonna wait for Dina's book to come out to tell those stories.
I can only imagine.
Love her.
And so did Dina go down there with you?
Yeah, she was getting stuff done.
Right. And so how
And
did
that
you
was
negotiate it? Did they speak English?
Not very well.
Right.
But all you did was be like, morangues.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Chuchonas, and they'd be like,
And you let
But
that
the
person
doctor
knock
was
you
like,
out.
well, the first time, it was fucking scary.
Yes,
the
of
first
course.
time I'm getting wheeled into the surgery room, a chicken runs by.
You are
They're
lying.
selling- No, I'm joking.
Oh my God.
But it was really, it was really kind of, the bottom of,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same standards
Was it
that we
all
have.
Right.
trans girls there?
There
mostly?
was a mix between
Okay.
trans and cis women from Mexico.
Yes.
Right.
So
And-
I have a question. Is it different now where you can pretty much, as a trans woman, choose any surgeon that you'd like to go to, or are they still people that won't work on trans
There's
people?
there's still people in Los Angeles who are, completely transphobic. And
Are you
and
kidding me?
No, I swear to God. I swear to God,
sad
yeah.
and weird.
That is very
It happened
weird.
to my best friend who was here for a year, and she had a doctor who begrudgingly gave her hormones, and she said, I have another person that I would love to bring in, and he's like, I don't want any more of you people here.
You're
What?
kidding.
I
You
swear
people?
to God, yes, I swear to God.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's hard.
I don't want my practice to become one of those practices.
Right.
Oh, one who helps people?
Right.
I'm sorry?
So, yeah, I mean,
That's
but, so we went to Mexico and, the doctor, he was good. And, the first day I'm on that thing and I see somebody getting wheeled out and they look dead. I see an arm flop
You're
over.
kidding.
And I was just like, oh my God, my parents are going to kill me. That's what I was thinking the whole time. My mom is going to kill me. And I wheeled in and I was so tense and nervous. They tried to put the IV in my arm, but it wouldn't go in because I had such high blood pressure. So they had to put it here.
Oh, between your fingers.
Between my fingers. And I was crying. Like I was on the table. Tears were streaming down my face. And the doctor came up and he grabbed me by the face with his big, gorgeous Mexican hands. And he was like, baby.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be okay.
All right.
And he was really sexy.
Oh, my God.
So I was just like, okay, I'm going to be fine. Like he had a really good bedside manner.
He was the doctor.
Yeah.
He's what mattered.
He's what mattered. And he looked me in the face. He said, you are going to be fine.
And he did what? Your boobs.
He did my boobs.
Your boobs. Okay.
And then I got up from that. Oh, yeah. And I was free as the wind on the beach.
And she was woman.
And Dina was not having it.
Dina's
So we're going to hear more from Candis Cayne after this quick break. Stay right where you are. Michelle, what is that buzzing over there?
Oh, you heard me?
Yes, I
I'm a little busy right now. I'm just going through the box that Adam and Eve sent us.
Adam and Eve has sent us a box of all of their delicious little goodies.
I'll be right
and
back.
Michelle's over there.
I'll be right back.
Now, you guys know what adamandeve.com is.
If you don't?
Yeah, if you don't listen to Michelle. Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're looking to spice some things up in the bedroom and fantasizing about surprising your lover with an adventurous new toy or adult movie, well, here's an offer you cannot refuse.
But before we do that, explain this one.
Yeah. That is a personal vibrator.
But explain the pulsating one. Like, why wouldn't you want a steady go round?
Well, because, your body gets used to certain things and you want to be surprised.
So you think just switching it up?
I think it switches
The
it
different
up.
pulsing?
And yes. And that looks like a space age something or another.
It's nice. It's got like a silicone outside, so it's really soft.
And it's hot pink, which is your color,
It's
isn't
my
it?
favorite color. They know me quite well. And I have to tell you, Adam and Eve has been the go-to place for 100 years.
Yes.
I remember getting the catalogs when I was a kid and bringing them to my room and
Really?
enjoying them.
How did you get the catalogs?
I think my dad, Marty, still is a perv.
Yeah.
And he would always get Hustler and Playboy and
Sure.
Penthouse. So he would naturally get them because I think they would piggyback,
Right,
you know?
exactly.
And it always had the beautiful lingerie. And I used to look at Adam and Eve and never know what I was looking at ever.
Oh.
But now that I'm well aware, I know. So check
Yes.
out adamandeve.com today. You get a special offer, 50% off one item when you type RU for the offer code upon checkout. I'm telling you, that's a lot of buzzing. You could be real busy and real happy. It's adamandeve.com, offer code RU. Get happy today. And the best part is you don't even need a significant other.
No, you don't. You don't need that. Hey, and not on top of that, if you go there, and they'll even throw in some free shipping on your entire order.
I mean, what's better than that?
What's better than that? That's right.
You know what's better than that?
What's better than that?
That.
Oh, the buzzing. Yes, you're a busy little bee over there.
Can't help it.
Yes. When you select one item at 50% off, you'll also receive a free mystery gift. So sensual, we can't even mention it on the podcast. I can't imagine. There are very few things we couldn't mention here.
No, we can mention anything, but I'm looking at a few of them from the box they sent us.
Oh my goodness.
Bend over.
Yeah. Check out adamandeve.com today for this special offer. Get 50% off one item when you type RU for the offer code upon checkout. Plus, free shipping on your entire item. You got to get it over there right now.
I'm going to go open my other pack.
Oh, boy. We are back with Candis Cayne. Now, we're talking about surgeries, which is, I know, Michelle's favorite subject,
obsessed.
my favorite subject. And, I watch the TV show Botched all the time. And those two doctors who fixed botched surgeries have people who come from Mexico all the time and say, well, I got this done or I got that done. But you actually had successful work down there.
People
Definitely.
do.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, did you make any return visits to Mexico?
Yes, I brought my girlfriend And she brought her friend who was a cis girl, and we went and had surgery, and that was just hilarious. Wow. Like there was this, oh my God.
It's like a party. It sounds like a party.
Surgery vacation.
It's like,
don't drink the water.
Don't drink the water. We accidentally smuggled 2 gallons of silicone back, but we
accidentally.
How did that wind up in your bag?
With the Claritin.
Exactly.
Did you drive down there?
No,
and do you have any
flew
left?
back.
We flew back.
And is there any left?
They're like, oh no, this massage oil. Can you bring it back to your
Stop.
friend?
Sure,
and I was like, yeah, okay. And then halfway into the airport, her friend, Dana's friend, is like can barely walk. She's had so much work done.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh
my God.
And so we're wheeling her, and Dana's bandaged, and I just had to get a little fix.
Yeah.
Remember, I said I had to get them fixed again.
Yeah.
So I was really kind of present, you know.
Yeah.
Because all you had to deal with was a bra.
Yeah, I had to deal with it. That's all I needed was a bra.
Right.
Like that whole thing. And so we get to the gate, and then we're in Mexico, and we're like, oh my God, this is not good. And me and Dana are like, I think that's silicone. And so then we started.
So you really had no idea?
We had no idea.
So the accidental part was true?
Yes.
Oh.
But we realized, because we're like, that's so weird. These 2 gallon jugs that we carried on, mind you. This was in the days before you
couldn't have liquids.
You could have liquids.
Right. So this massage oil is very, very heavy.
Yeah.
And slippery.
And thick.
Yes. And
Weird.
so we're like we get nervous, and we put him in the lap of the girl on this on the wheelchair, and so she can't even walk, and she's going in and out of consciousness.
This is a movie.
And she has 2 big silicone jugs on her lap, and there's fake prints of like women with like a silhouette of a woman with tits like on the sides of the the jug of silicone.
What year was this?
This is in the 90s.
1972?
The 90s. And so she's like sitting there, and the stewardess walks up to us, and she's like, dun, dun, dun. We're like, oh my God, the stewardess is coming up to us. Holy shit, oh my God, we're never going to get out of this. And she's like, if your friend can't walk on this flight, you guys have to stay here. Because she looked bad. I mean, she was looking really bad. So I was like, oh, phew, not the silicone.
Yeah.
Okay. So I get there, and I look at her, and I shake her, and she's like, oh, and I'm like, you're gonna get on this plane, and you're gonna walk on with your head held high. You're not gonna say a word, and you're gonna get in your seat. And she's like, oh. Now grab the silicone.
Did she do it?
You mean medical grade massage oil?
Medical grade massage oil. Yes.
And where did you deliver the massage oil?
I can't.
Where did that go?
That went to a friend who helped facilitate.
Yeah, right. The travel agent.
Yeah. I love it.
Oh my God! Now, do you think there's a book? Are you going to write a book?
This was 20 years ago, people.
Yes.
So don't come for me now.
Right.
The statute of limitations.
I'm sure. Yes.
Girl, that's
now,
long gone.
I actually am writing a book right now.
You are writing a book right now.
I just got a book deal.
Good for
Great.
you.
Yes, I'm so excited.
Now, tell me, do you know what format you're going to do? Is it going to be like an autobiography, or is it going to be sort of a how-to reference guide?
It's going to be more of a how-to beauty book, inspirational guide for trans and cis women of all ages and races.
Gorgeous.
And genders.
Now, has anyone ever done that before?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Now, when does it have to be delivered?
In a month and a half.
You're kidding me.
No, so I'm in the midst of writing chapters and working with my writer, and we're doing this whole thing.
Oh, great. And more importantly, who's taking the photo?
We haven't gotten to that
Amen.
yet. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Oh my God,
So
you
I'll
should
be-
have Matthew.
I want to suggest one
Oh
Matthew
my
Anderson.
God, Matthew Anderson.
Yeah.
That would be incredible.
He did mine. He did
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honey.
Right. So
That
now,
would be amazing.
so you've got this reference book. So again, how did you learn the ropes, so to speak? Did you have? Obviously, you talked about Dana
Trial and error.
and trial and error.
Yeah.
Right.
There was no real, unity of girls. There was like Sophia Lamar
Right.
and Amanda Lepore and myself. Really, they were, 10 years my
And Cody.
senior.
Cody was around.
Cody was around too.
Yeah.
But, there was no it was like, girl, what kind of hormones should I use?
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, I have a friend who got some German ones in. They make your tits really big. So let's go with those. So I'll see if I can get you that.
Because the trans girls that I knew growing up in New York City, so when I started getting involved in the community, it was like 87, 88, in those years. There were a lot of them who couldn't afford even the basic hormones.
Sure.
Right.
So they lived as women, but they did not take any transitional measures to start to transition because they couldn't
just
afford
simple things like electrolysis. Like,
Right.
My friend Paris was like, I am not helping you get hormones until you're 2 months into electrolysis.
But that helps. That helps you.
No,
knowing
yeah,
that,
she
right?
was knowing that. Like, I did it the right way.
Right.
I did electrolysis first, then started my hormone therapy, and then, But I have to tell you, like, I never felt right, and I didn't understand why. There was no internet, there was no anything. You know what I mean? And until I started taking hormones, it was like a huge weight was lifted off me, and I was just.
So what do you say to the girls that can't
like Claritin.
afford them?
It's
like Claritin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
To the kids who can't
Or heroin.
afford, that's a different story. Think about shooting between the fingers.
It's hot.
It's so hot.
It is
yeah.
hot.
Yeah.
The kids that I don't want to say, because do you think hormones are affordable now by mostly everybody? Is that a fact or no? Like, are there clinics?
There, especially when you're starting as a youth,
Right.
there's a lot of resources that you can use. Like even here in Los Angeles, there's the Children's Hospital Blush program, which my friend Shandy Moore is in charge of, or one of the people in charge of that. And they work with youth from 11 to 19 that help them through issues, find the right doctors, that
It's
kind
called
of
the
thing.
what youth center?
The Blush program at Children's Hospital of Los Angeles.
Where is that in Los Angeles?
That's it's like over by Silver Lake. It's like it's on Sunset.
It's a huge hospital.
It's a
and
huge
so
hospital.
so they supply hormones for the kids who need them?
I don't know exactly how it works. There's doctors there that just specialize in
Child transitioning.
child transitioning. Dr. Olson. I mean, she's amazing. Yeah. So I mean, and doing I Am Cait has helped me become a part of this greater activism, which has been amazing for me.
Yeah.
All I can say is,
Yeah.
thank God she had you and has you, because
you.
without you, it would be even worse. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay.
You are amazing.
Is there a third
you.
season of the show?
Well, we find out probably in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, because it's raised so much awareness, and also through her education, we the public get to be educated.
You're educating her through the whole journey.
Totally. And, it's just less than a doctor education. It's more of just like a life education.
Exactly.
and,
Aesthetics.
Because she's been guarded and protected her whole life. And so she's
been in
entering
a
a
bubble.
community
Yeah.
that is the complete opposite.
of everything.
Complete
That-
opposite. And
yeah.
let's take the Republican bullshit out of it.
Right.
And talk about just life and the fact that she has not walked the same path as 99.99% of trans people.
Yes, but on the flip side of that, I have to say, she lived as a trans woman in a male body for 66 years of her
Amen
life.
to that, too.
So there's a lot of shit,
Yeah.
that you have to deal with. She struggled too in that way.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
never had to hide in hotels and dress in drag and,
Yeah.
Sneak out to just feel
It's like transparent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my
just like
soul.
that.
Yeah.
Now, because I remember actually in the mid 80s when I saw pictures of her, I knew she's transitioning.
Me too.
We all knew.
We all knew. The
Yeah.
girls all knew.
Of
Yeah.
course,
Yes.
of course.
Because did you tell her that? No.
I think I might have, in
Right.
passing. I was like, I knew something was up, but she actually started hormones and everything.
Yeah, no, that's what I
Yeah.
could tell. I could see it. But it's interesting that once you, I think all people who live sort of on the sidelines of the general public, people who dance to the beat of a different drummer, somehow have X-ray eyes. So certain things, like when I saw the photos in the National Enquirer, and I think Caitlin she had her nose whittled down, and there was the feminine features, and I thought she is transitioning.
Yeah.
Right.
And other people didn't see that because they don't have to see
Well,
it.
A, part of it. The other part was she's always had facelifts and worked it into the show, and just in life.
Well, this is 30 years ago.
If you think back to even seeing Bruce standing on the decathlon, getting that gold medal, you can even see the feminization in the face.
Well, but there wasn't any of the surgery or any of the stuff.
None.
But
it was innate within.
But in 85, 86, somewhere in there, maybe 87, that's when I saw a picture
When
in the
she had
National
started,
Enquirer. Yeah. And I think the first facelift and the first nose job and that kind of stuff.
That's where it all began. But like Candis just said, she lived with it for how many years?
Yeah.
I didn't want that to be taken the wrong way.
Right.
When he was in that body, was living with this. It's such an inner struggle and inner.
It is.
And to be in the public eye has got to be even more
Well, yeah, I mean,
awful.
that's crazy. When season 1 started and she was like the most like desired photograph on the planet.
Right.
We started filming the day that the magazine came out.
The Vanity Fair.
The Vanity Fair. And like we had to spend 2 hours before we could go on that road trip, like just eluding paparazzi that were camped out and following us and doing all that kind of crazy thing.
Right. Now, has it been hard for you now because of that show? They seek you out. Has that been really difficult for you?
No, not really, because they don't really I don't have to worry about leaving my house and having paparazzi or anything like that. They don't really care about me in that way. Maybe when they thought I was with Cait.
Well, I think people were hoping. I know all the girls on the bot store were like, please. I was like, I don't know. Because, she's still exploring whether or not she wants to try being with men.
And it's
you know
such
what I mean?
a personal thing.
Exactly.
And I think really in reality, most people don't want to admit that there's tendencies in either direction.
Yeah, right.
That's
and
human life in any gender.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like in any gender, I think that, I think it probably half Americans have tendencies towards same-sex
We're
moments.
all sexually fluid. We just don't want to embrace
We don't
it.
want to
Yeah,
embrace it.
right.
We're taught at a very early age
Yeah.
not to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen footage of your parents. They seem so cool. Now, are they hippies in Hawaii? Where's their academics?
They're academics. So they were like, they were a generation a little bit older than hippie. Not a whole generation, but like they were like 5 years, they were more beatniky into.
Yes.
Like they believed in Waldorf education. They went to
love
school
Waldorf
for that.
system,
yeah. And so they
Were you
they
raised
were
in a Waldorf
artists.
education?
I was raised in Waldorf.
You're lucky.
Yeah. And I mean, for the most part, Waldorf schools are a really good way of educating.
Listen,
kids.
there's pros and cons to every educational system, but Montessori, Waldorf, they're all good because they recognize the creativity in a child.
Exactly.
And they nourish it and they feed it, and it's a beautiful way.
My parents are artists, and they have the same. They traveled through Europe in the '60s, drawing famous paintings on the sidewalk for money just to get around to each country, for a year. So that's that's where they come from.
And they still like each other?
Oh my God, they're still in love. 55 years.
Oh, bless them.
Yes,
That's
still in
beautiful,
love.
Candace.
Why do you think that is? And we're going to go to a break in a minute, but why do you think, what is it? What is the secret ingredient?
I think it's commonality.
Yeah.
I think that they've grown instead of apart. They've grown together with their interests, what they enjoy doing, their belief system. And they don't believe in everything together, but they have a discussion and they talk about it. I never remember seeing them fight growing up. Never once.
Oh, wow.
If they were to fight, it was not in front of me and my brother.
Well, that's the opposite.
Oh my God.
But I mean, that works for them. I mean, different people have different ways
Of
of
course.
working.
Well, when we come back, I have the most important question of our talk with Candis Cayne. I want to talk about the highlights in your hair, which are just so beautiful. Who does? Anyway, don't
We'll
say
talk about
anything.
that in a minute.
We're going to go to a break real quick. You know, a lot of people don't wear underwear, but people who do wear underwear like to spice it up and wear something very special between me down there. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Well, for those people, like to go to MeUndies.com.
I love MeUndies.com, and I am one of those people that don't wear underwear. But the underwear that I do wear is from MeUndies.com. And you know why?
Why?
They use this modal.
Yes.
Sustainably sourced, so nobody has to worry about anything. But it's a fabric that's twice as soft as cotton.
Oh.
So if you want anything between me down there, it's going to be modal. It is so amazing the way it feels, ladies. I have the thongs, and I love them.
And it's an incredible fit. It feels so good. MeUndies is the way to go. In fact, they've been called the most comfortable underwear.
Yes.
The world's most comfortable underwear.
And I know why.
And I know why, too. Listen, if you don't love your first pair of MeUndies, they're free. No questions asked. You can go sell them on eBay or
sure
something.
You can. You're watching Orange is the New Black. That's what you're doing. Uh-huh.
MeUndies has dozens of styles and limited edition prints as well.
Yep.
So to help you make a statement with your underwear, go to MeUndies.com. Now, shipping is free in the U.S. and Canada, and you can save up to $8 a pair with the MeUndies subscription plan, darling.
Yes, and whether you get a subscription or a single pair, get 20% off of your first order when you go to MeUndies.com/Ru. Of course, MeUndies.com/RU for 20% off your first order. I'm telling you guys, once you turn to MeUndies, you're never going to go back.
That's right.
Modal is the way forward, honey.
Hey, girl. We are back with Candis Cayne. And, if anyone has ever seen Candis Cayne perform live or even on TV shows like Elementary or the one we talked about,
Dirty Sexy
Money, the hair is so gorgeous.
And it's her hair, by
and
the
it's
way.
her hair.
Thank you.
Let me just walk me through your hair odyssey for just a second, okay?
Yes.
Because, who does the coloring? Who does the highlights of? Because it's so beautiful. It's that beautiful, honey, perfection California blonde.
Miss Dana Davis.
Here?
Really?
She's here?
She's in Florida.
But
wait a minute.
I see her all the time. She's coming tomorrow. No,
So
the day after tomorrow.
Since you know she's coming, you're like, bitch, bring your bleach.
Well, I have all the stuff at home.
Of course
I
you
actually,
do.
she does it like every 3 months. She does my roots. And in between them, I do it a month and a half. I'll do the front part myself with the brush, and I know my color.
But wait a minute. You've
And I'll-
seen, you
Yeah.
realize that's not normal to where it looks this good. You realize that, right?
Right.
So
No,
are you just really good at it?
I'm good at, because you're a queen and you're a queen, that you have to learn how to, I always say it's like queens know how to Beyonce. We know how to get our Beyonce on, and most people don't because they have a whole team of people who do it. But we've learned to do it ourselves because we didn't have a team.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I learned how to do my own hair, to
Yeah, but
curl
I
it,
color
to
my
set
own
it.
hair. My hair's black. You have multiple facets.
There are several many
like,
shades of blonde
yes,
going
you
on.
have-
She does the big work every 3 months, and then I go in and just do the roots
With the color.
With the
Yeah.
color,
Not the highlights.
Not the highlights.
Okay.
I can't highlight my own hair.
Exactly. That's why
right.
we were like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's the title for your book.
Highlight.
I can't highlight my own hair.
I think it's perfect.
I think it's a perfect.
You just found it.
I can't highlight my own hair.
It's so, but you've always had great hair. That's the Italian, I bet.
It is the Italian, but then I think it's actually I have to admit it's my dad's side of the family, and he's French, German, Irish, American Indian. So I think it's a little bit American Indian because he has thick white hair like me, but white, So, and my mom's, she has fine hair, but it's not. It's fine.
When we age, especially as cisgender women, when we age and lose those hormones, and we
You mean Sister Sledge?
yes, the hair gets brittle, gets fine, and it loses its luster, and it's just not as glamorous as it used to be.
Yeah.
Motherfucking
Now,
age.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Well-
bitch, you got it all.
But it's funny though. As time goes on, I'm going to choose my words gently here. There's a certain you come to peace with certain things,
Yes.
whether it's the allergies
sure.
or the implants in my teeth, the teeth implants, which one of them I have to replace
Why?
later. $5,000 each. You would think it would last forever.
What happened?
Yeah.
No, it's just life.
She's not having you?
Life happened.
She's not
is what
having you.
happened.
She's
not
running.
she's running.
She's running
yeah,
away.
She's rejected it. My body's rejected the tooth implant. But there's a point where you come to and you realize, you know
Like
what?
a Friday night, it's 9:00, and I'm staying home, and I'm happy with it.
Yeah. And it also,
Yeah.
you realize
Yeah.
these things don't matter anymore.
Totally.
When they mattered when we were 23.
And there's also a confidence and a wisdom that
Yeah.
you have, that just, in any situation you can handle your
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if you've had to fight the whole time. I think about people who haven't, lived the way we've lived, which is, really cutting a new swath, uncharted territory. It teaches you so much about how to navigate this life, which is, life ain't easy.
No.
Life is
God.
not easy at all.
No.
Because did I meet you the first time? Was it 88? Or did you come to New York 88, 89?
91.
No, really?
Yes.
Because I remember you in a pair of cutoff shorts in front of the boy bar. And it was Chicklet, and it was a bunch of girls at the same time. And I felt like it was earlier than that. 91.
I moved there in 91. 91. Something
I don't
about
think
that.
I've ever met you pre-transition.
I don't think so.
I really don't think. I think the first time I met you was the first time I met you around the time the video that you did with Jasmine.
I think that's it.
I think that was around the time
and then I
when
came into your radio show at
Yes,
some
but
point.
because I'd met you, I think around that time you were on a float at Pride, and I think it was like I was on a float for KTU, our radio station in New York, and that's where you had just done the video. So it was around that time.
Right.
Right.
I don't know what year that was. What year was that?
I have no
Okay.
idea.
I should know better than to ask you. But I'd never know. I've only known you as Candis.
Yeah.
Right, because so that was if that was 91, and even then, the body on that kid
Always.
was just phenomenal. Was
Well, that's
phenomenal.
another thing about age. You have to work out now.
Right.
Bitch.
I hate
I don't
it.
want to get started
Oh my
talking about that. But you always had
God,
an
I
ass. You always had
boot
thighs. Always.
Yeah, always had a
Yeah,
gorgeous
always.
body. Yeah,
Always.
And is
Yeah.
that your mom or dad?
Mom.
Yeah.
I had my mom's body, my dad's height and hair.
Yeah. So I'm assuming in your book you're going to have a section to talk about the whole family experience of what it's like to, have a child who is really changing into their true self. Did you have to mourn the little baby you were before? Did you have to mourn and say goodbye to?
For me, I was the exact same person. Mm-hmm. I just
That's
changed
what it feels like
myself
actually knowing you.
physically.
Actually knowing you,
Yeah.
it feels
I'm the same
there's
person
never a
that
change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my parents, once they realized, they were always okay. There was a mourning period. It was me and my twin brother. We were the twins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was a moment there, which was,
Were you
I'm
identical
sure
or fraternal?
Fraternal. But I never changed who I was. I never tried to, change my voice or, act any other way. I just was who I was.
Yeah.
And now that I realize that's why I got so much shit growing up is because I was so female.
You're a
Right.
woman.
I was such a woman in this little shell of a boy that I was easy target.
But that's what
you know?
people don't understand about trans people is that, it's the same mentality of people who think that gay people choose to be gay and that they could deny that. Trans people are not choosing to be another gender. They are born in the wrong body. And people don't really understand that because it's a lot to wrap your head
And that has
around.
nothing to do with me being a showgirl or a performer or an actress,
This was
because
way
that
before
was
that.
just something that I've always felt a part of. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just happened to coincide. with
Right.
that.
Now, the connection you had with have with your twin brother.
Yes.
How did that change? Because twins have this sort of unspoken dialogue. Is that dialogue still there?
It is.
Yeah.
And I know that when he's in great distress, I dream about it usually. A couple of times when he almost passed from a car accident and for a burst appendix. I had dreams that night, both times.
It's insane.
Wow.
And I called him the next day, and they're like, "Oh, he's in the hospital." That kind of like it was.
Has
it
it
was
changed
kind of
your
crazy.
relationship?
It has. He's, we were twins, and I was 4 minutes older, but he's kind of taken on the role as big brother, because he's defensive of me and he's proud of me. And more that I'm doing. It's like, it's funny. The more you sit back and realize how hard you worked for your achievements, the more you can kind of be proud of yourself, and not in a big head way, but just like, I've done a lot and I've worked really hard to try to change the way society looks at us. You know
Keep
what I
doing
mean?
it, baby. Keep
And I
doing
think
it.
my brother realized that at a certain point when he walked into a gay bar. He was just like, I'm going to go get a drink. And he sat at the bar and was like, oh, my sister's Candis Cayne. And they were like, oh my God, shots on the house. And it was like, he was like, wow, my sister. You know? It's kind of cool.
sweet.
But his wife, who was a sociology major in college when they were still in college when I came out to him. She sat him down and was like, this is a real thing. And so you can't look at it like a straight male, my brother, what, you know what I mean, kind of deal. You have to think back at what Candis was like growing up. And I think, she kind of helped him initially.
That's beautiful.
And since, I'm really good friends with Trudy, and her whole family came to see me at Seattle Pride, her brother, her mother,
Your
her
sister-in-law.
father, my sister-in-law's
Aw,
family,
it's beautiful.
and my nephew came to see me perform for the first time.
Oh, wow. Oh,
At
that's gorgeous.
15.
And it just
Yeah.
made sense for your parents, I'm sure.
My dad was like, when I told him, he said it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah. Now let's talk about your acting career for a minute, because you did the show Elementary, and tell me the acting thing, because I've been trying to act for many years,
You're doing
and
it.
it's such a mind trip to give yourself permission to just release everything. Tell me about your process. Did you go to acting classes, or what? How were you able to just and not have any embarrassment when they say action?
Or do you?
I have moments like this past week. I had a horrible audition, and I knew everything hands down. I was like, "This is my part for the picking." And I walked in and I had just a moment where I saw the 13 people that were sitting there in front of a camera, and they see you for the first time. And I was just like, blah, it still happens. I find that if you have a connection with the material and you have a connection with the director, it is a world of difference. I just did an episode of Heartbeat, and I was really amazed. Every time I do something and I feel like I did a good job, I am amazed about how much I don't remember when I'm in the part doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And of course, it's a process. It's about being able to, for me, it's about being able to let go of the present and inside your head,
Right.
getting inside your head. Because as a human being, you're always inside your head. How do I look? And especially as a trans human being, it's like it doubles on top of that, because you're living your life in a different gender that you weren't born in, and physically, I mean. So it's always an ongoing process. It's just how you adapt in situations of great stress and strife. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because especially, I'm interested because it's always been a challenge for me to just let it go, because I'm a Scorpio. I'm very controlling. I always want to be in the driver's seat of my situation. But,
Right.
of course, acting is a completely different thing. Driver's seat, it's in a different way. But in terms of allowing people to see those areas of myself,
Yeah.
I'm always interested in when people are able to do it the way you're able to do it.
Yeah, I don't even know how I just am able to get into the dialogue and let go.
Yeah.
And,
How are you at remembering dialogue? Because I can't remember.
Rue and I have
anymore.
issues with remembering.
I guess that also depends. Auditions, I guess, are a different beast. They suck.
The worst.
They're the worst. And the way I learn dialogue and cement it is by thinking about the other person's dialogue and what my answer as my character would be to
But
answer
see,
that.
and most people will tell you not to do that, because then you anticipate what the person's saying. It's hard to.
Well, I know what they're. Well, no, I know
everybody.
what they're going to say, and I know the last word they're going to say it, but I don't memorize their lines because then I'll have another moment where I was talking to Jasmine, going, "I am my mother. I am my." That you put in your movie. I am my mother. That was so funny, and I'm so happy you kept that in too because it was so genius.
Talking about star booty.
Star booty.
Yes,
I'm sorry,
yes.
Annika Manos. Totally broke character.
Oh my!
Oh my God! What I have so many people are still asking me if you're doing a star booty too.
Oh my God! People are just so leotarded. I mean,
they love it. They love
well,
it.
you know. So, Candis, wow, what an amazing, amazing story. And this is all going to be in your book. You have a title yet? It's a month and a half. Really, it's honestly a month and a half is going to be delivered
for first draft. And
what
then
are they
we have
thinking?
the edit and
So this is summertime. So they're thinking
Spring.
Okay, spring.
Books are fun. Book tours are fun.
and then we're gonna do photos in November, I think.
Yeah. What do you think about Matthew? I'm sure Mike Ruiz has some gorgeous photos.
Yeah. I know. I'm like thinking.
Yeah.
But
there's
you know,
plenty, there's not a shortage.
There's not a shortage, and I do want to, do a photo shoot with different. I want to involve other people, other races, other. To me, beauty is such a vast commodity. There's so not one way to look at beauty
At all.
and I feel like, little girls come up to me all the time now and they're like, "You're so pretty." And like one girl, I was like, "Oh my God, you're so gorgeous too." And she was like, "No, I'm not. No, I don't know why you're saying that." And I was just like thinking, she's really a beautiful girl.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she know it?
Yeah.
We need to talk. Let's take a break, and then we'll come back because I want to talk more about that because it's all about this new millennial society thing. We need to talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll dive more into that.
Okay. All right. So let's take a break. We'll be right back. Hey, let's talk about Casper mattresses.
I love it.
What a fantastic product. It was in New York recently. You see billboards all over the place for Casper mattresses.
Do you?
Because, when you're in New York, you find sanctuary.
Yes.
On your bed.
Yes.
There's so much
In your tiny apartment.
In your tiny apartment, you find solace there. And I know you have the same story, even here in Hollywood. Yep. You love that Casper mattress.
There is nothing that says home like the feeling of your own bed.
Mm-hmm.
The feeling of your own bed and your own kitchen. Those are the two things.
Uh-huh.
And that mattress, my Casper mattress, I got it like a year ago already.
Yeah.
And it's been so amazing. The best thing I ever did. And Casper's not a fan of that kind of business model of where the industry standards kind of, raising the prices to fool customers. It's not all about that. They're revolutionizing the mattress industry by cutting the cost of dealing with the resellers and the showrooms, passing on the savings to us. I'm telling you, Casper's mattresses are worth every single saved penny.
You're absolutely right. And this is for a fraction of the price.
Yes.
Premium mattresses for a fraction of the price.
And they're all American made.
All American made. Now, they've got this new hybrid mattress that combines premium latex foam with memory foam, so they're extra comfortable. Oh.
You just sink in it and you just lull yourself to sleep.
Listen, they are so confident in the quality of their mattresses that they have a risk-free trial and return policy. You can try sleeping on a Casper mattress for 100 days.
Shut your mouth!
With free delivery and painless returns. That's 100% risk-free. So what are you waiting for? Go get $50 toward any mattress purchase right now by visiting Casper.com/RU. That's right. Use that offer code RU, honey. Terms and conditions may apply. That's Casper.com/RU. Get started today. So now, before we took the break, Candis was talking about a little girl she met on the street who said, "Oh, wow, you're so pretty." And you said back to her, "Wow, you're really pretty." And she actually really didn't know that. How old was she?
Maybe 13.
Well, that is
between
that age,
11
though.
and 13.
Awkward stage.
That's that awkward stage where you don't know. You know?
But even so, there's this influx, and it's larger now than ever because of what? social media,
Right.
where girls compare themselves to, let's use Kylie Jenner for an example,
Okay.
who has 60-something million followers, and it's not reality. So these girls have this unrealistic expectation, putting them up to, because they don't have that many followers or that many likes, they value themselves and their beauty on how many people hit that like button or how many people follow them. In our day, it was like we wanted to look like the supermodels, and that was our unrealistic. And that half the reason why I had an eating disorder. Yeah, like we all wanted to be that size. I'm 5'4". Like it's never going to be a reality. But instead of loving
I was a
themselves,
trans. I was a
can't say that
trans.
word.
I can't say that word. God knows.
God forbid. But you were a trans girl, but at least you had the height. I'd be jealous of you because you had the height. You could do it. But the point is, these are unrealistic expectations. So that little girl who didn't see her own beauty is because she's comparing herself to what she sees online.
But how different is that from me wanting to be Christy Brinkley?
The difference is you don't have people saying yes or no or commenting ugly things or saying things underneath your picture when you post it.
Yeah.
It's very different.
Well, no, I didn't have that, but I knew that I could at least strive. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what is the difference. Now, I do know that our culture is more narcissistic. I know that, with the selfie thing, it's not called selfie for an accident, you know.
And I don't, partake in the selfie
Never. Never.
That's the only
movement.
way you can get a good angle.
Yeah, right.
Good lighting.
Yeah, good lighting and you have all the filters and everything.
Sure, but that 13-year-old girl, she'll come round. I think that everybody eventually
agree,
comes round.
But I think some people it takes a lot longer than it should.
Yeah.
And I want to inspire girls of every age, every gender, every race to feel inspired about their beauty. And we don't live in some monochromatic society anymore, and we have to highlight that.
But some people are stronger than others, and you're very strong. What do you attribute your strength? I'm going to assume it's your parents.
My parents.
Yeah.
100%.
But a lot of them don't have
A lot of
that
them
luxury.
don't have that. And so that's why they need to have material by people who do things in their life or show them examples of a good way and a healthy way to go about, dealing with their self-esteem and,
Was this just a kid on the street in passing, or was it a friend of yours kid? Or
No, it was a kid on the street.
It was me.
It was Michelle. Michelle, you're beautiful.
Not as beautiful as Candis.
Oh, please.
But it is true. When you see Candis Cayne coming at you, this beautiful mane of California blonde hair and that body and that face, and it's like I could see how, as an adult we go, Candis. As a little girl sees that walking down the street, we're like, wow.
Yeah, but again, that people build up. We were talking about calluses earlier. You build that.
Corns.
You build that
build
stuff
up those corns.
honey.
Yeah.
And that and
No,
life.
it's true.
Life will do whether
Like
you.
if I had known when I was a kid, but if I had known anyone, that looked like me, that was like me when I was that age, I would have had a lot more self-confidence. I mean, thank God I have amazing parents who always told me, like, you be yourself, or they taught me that. They never told me that. They just showed me by example that you had to be yourself.
You are
and,
lucky.
I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But, same with you guys. I mean, you guys have been in this business a long time and dealing and working in a world that didn't at all always accept who you are.
Yeah.
Still don't.
Yeah.
Right.
But, when you first started your career, that was unheard of.
No,
It was never going to happen.
It was never going to happen. I was at dinner with Mamie Eisenhower one night.
And this isn't what it looks like.
Oh, you have a scrape on your knee.
Uh-huh.
No, I was about to tell a joke
Mamie
about how old,
Eisenhower.
how old I am. Yeah.
Go on. Lady Bird Johnson.
Yeah, we were sitting together at
Betty
the nail
Ford.
salon.
Yeah.
Cher.
Mamie Eisenhower.
Cher.
No, it's true. No,
Dolly Madison.
But I don't believe it. Maybe it's easier now. I just know that the inner struggle, the inner dialogue that a person has. I don't really care how much great information is out there. there is always that saboteur who
Yes,
is there.
totally.
Always.
And
And
we're
it's
born
as smart
with it.
as you are, actually.
We're born with it.
We're born with it. It's as smart as you are. It knows everything that you know. So even with a great background, great parents, great education, all that,
Right.
it's still anybody's guess how you're able to deal with the
Because
demons.
it's not a conscious movement like your bowels.
Right.
It's unconscious. The
Right.
whole saboteur thing is unconscious, and you
is.
give into it.
There's
Right.
a
It's not
dialogue, a
something-
running
Yes.
dialogue in
Yeah.
your head with the 5 things that
Yeah.
you're not pretty, you're fat,
Yeah.
you need to eat
You're not
less,
talented,
you're
yeah.
not talented, you're not smart.
You'll never make it. All
You'll
those
never
things.
make it. Those
Yeah.
things like that are on repeat.
Yeah, well, that's why I always on Twitter I always
Everybody say
repeat-
love.
Everybody say love, and I always repeat that Einstein thing. I'm going to paraphrase it now. I don't know by heart, but he says, a problem cannot be fixed on the same conscious level that it was created on. So
Yeah.
that is where, and a 13-year-old probably wouldn't be able to understand this, but that's where I go into meditation, or I ask for a divine intervention, where I say, you know what, my ego, my saboteur is in here with me, so I'm going to need some outside help.
I'm going to have to give this
Right.
over to you.
I'm going to give this over.
Jesus, take
And
the
the
wheel.
most important thing is that these kids need to know that we do this to ourselves too.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not
Yes.
immune from this.
Right,
You know,
right.
we're doing this every day. We're
Yeah.
like, I have to work out 5 days a week, and I have,
Yeah.
so they need to see that. And I'm not afraid to talk about that. That's the one good thing that this reality show has given me, is that it made me realize that it's okay to talk about your shortcomings and put it out in the
What
universe.
makes you human?
And it
Especially
makes
as an
you human.
actor, you
Humanizing.
understand those areas, those sort of vulnerable areas. That's where the audience can learn to love you.
Right.
That's
But it's
where-
allowing yourself to trusting yourself and trusting that you're safe to get there to do
Yeah.
it.
Exactly. And
a journey.
the producers, Andrea Metz, the
Of the
executive
Caitlin
producer
Show?
of the Caitlin Show, she made it very obvious to all of us, if you're not happy with something, tell me, we'll get rid of it. I want you to be as open as you can, and then we'll deal with what happens next. You know what I mean? And so we started to trust her. She's a lesbian woman. So she, there was that kind of the LGBT trust,
Sisterhood, yeah.
sisterhood
Yeah.
built in there. And so it was a lot easier for us to, open up to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Oh, I completely understand. On Drag Race, I know the editors, I know the producers. I know there won't be any of those icky shots.
Yes.
That,
The
all you need.
moonlighting.
Yes.
Honey. I
Yes.
love that moonlighting.
We all do.
Well, before they had it down pat, of course, on season 1, we just put Vaseline on the
Yeah.
legs,
It worked for Barbara. It works for Rue. Yes.
Well, Candice, I'm so looking forward to your book. You don't have a title
Thank
yet.
You.
You don't have a title yet. Yeah.
I don't
The
have a
Candis
title
Cayne
yet.
Project.
Yes.
The Untitled Candis Cayne Project.
Oh my God, it's going to be so great, and it's so needed, and not just for trans people, but for that 13-year-old girl on the street. That's
Yeah.
why it's so important. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Everything you've done in your career, and I've watched you since you were a kid.
I know.
Here you are.
It's amazing. It's like those little self-doubts, like you think nothing like this can happen.
Right.
But
And then
think
you
it.
but
And
then
be it.
and then you realize if you think it,
Exactly.
and that's a lesson that you can go back and teach yourself once you're
and
older.
think of all of us together, all 3 of us in this room together.
Yeah.
And we've come from the same place. We've known each other
for 20-something
along
years.
the way, and we
Yeah.
watched each other's progression.
We were
And it's
5-year-old
really-
runaways.
Of course we were, living on the streets of New York City. It's just really, it's nice to be in this like little
is.
coffee clutch at this moment.
Yeah.
It really
To be
kind of
like,
is because we
yeah.
have so much history between
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
amazing to see what you've done, and we're so proud of you. And
Thank
keep
you.
doing.
And
I-
your book too. That's
I
incredible.
wrote it the same reason, but I wrote it the same reason you are writing yours, to show kids and people of all ages that we're all human and we're all in this together, that we all have flaws,
Yeah.
and that you don't have to accept those flaws as just being normal. You could progress and create and change and shift.
Totally.
And that's what it's about, and that's what you're doing, and it's a beautiful thing, and it's so nice to be in this movement together.
It is.
And it's a kind of a global movement that's happening right now, with all the stuff, all the crap that's going on
Yeah.
in our society. and all the people that are standing up, trying to in a peaceful way, at least. This is a lesson that our country needs.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Cait has you. Honestly, I really am. And you can't say whatever, but I can say as the outside looking in, she wouldn't be the same without your tutelage and your guidance. And I know there's other beautiful women on that show with her, but there's a connection that you have. And she needs that from you.
Right.
Because you're the one who's going to go clunk over the head and go, no, bitch.
Uh-huh.
No. So thank God for you.
All right, well, kids, that was fun. Until
fun.
next time, we'll see you guys later.
I'll be back whenever.
Yay,
With promoting that book. Yes. Bye.
Bye.
Can I get an amen? Can I get an amen? If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen?
And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes.
If you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Amen.